This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
This episode of BiCurean is part of our special coronavirus coverage. We invited the artists from Oberer Totpunkt and organizers of Darkstream Festival 2020 to talk about quarantine life in Germany, the challenges faced by artists right now, and Darkstream Online, and how online concert streaming is becoming more popular during the coronavirus crisis.
Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Isla.
And together we are the hosts of the BiCurean podcast.
BiCurean is our answer to the polarizing culture we live in.
Tired of feeling under siege and looking for ways to get involved? Then come be a part of a different way of thinking.
Everything from politics to geek culture to current events that polarize us as a society. We explore multiple ways of looking at things.
Welcome to the show.
So,
Go ahead.
Hi.
I'm Isla.
And I'm Eric. Today we have a very interesting show that we're doing as part of our COVID-19 sort of coverage, but more of snapshots of looking into things. And people may have remembered from various shows me talking about the fact that I'm a musician and have been a musician forever, and I make industrial music. And we met some industrial folks on a tour last year, and they're in Germany. And they're part of this thing that's going to happen soon called Darkstream. And then we also have the organizer of that. So if you guys can introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you for inviting us. I'm Bettina, and Michael and me, we are from the German band Oberer Totpunkt. And half a year ago, we have been to Denver and had the very, very fun and honor to be together with you. Thank you for asking us.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a tour. We had a tour with Das Ich from LA, San Francisco, Seattle to Florida and to Denver and Herman's Hideaway, I think.
Yep.
What's the name? Yeah. And it was very nice. We loved that. And so, yeah, half a year later, everything changes. Yeah. Everything is different. We just wanted to come this year to America also, but we have to.
Yeah, we wanted to be in Florida in April. Yeah.
Oh.
It didn't happen.
That did not happen. You don't want to be in Florida right now. They're not being very sensible.
No.
And David?
My name is David Gray. It's a pen name because I'm a writer by trade. And I also do some small time booking together with a couple of friends. And as soon as we heard that all the big festivals in Germany during the summer would have to be cancelled, we had some really, really spontaneous Facebook meeting.
That's the way it happens now.
Musicians, writers, two bookers, and one performance artist, I guess. And we said, okay, what can we do about it? And very, very soon we sort of decided we do a festival on our own, and we called it originally Cosa Nostra Festival. Not everybody liked.
Not everybody liked.
I'm writer by trade, so and so we pretty much changed it very soon to Darkstream Festival because we organized it out of Leipzig. I guess there's some kind of festival all years, since 30 years, coming out of Leipzig for industrial, dark wave, punk, post-punk, metal.
Yeah.
It's called Wave Gothic Treffen and
WGT. WGT.
Our listeners may not know about Wave Gothic Treffen, but I definitely do. A personal friend of mine is Brian from Velvet Acid Christ. He's from Denver, and I've known him forever. I've known him for 30 years. I didn't go with him, but he got to play right before Skinny Puppy on their first reunion at Wave Gothic Treffen many years ago now, when they first kind of got back together. So Yeah, I've been a fan of that festival forever, and I've been to most cities in Germany. I've not been out there for that festival, but I need to do that.
Yeah, when we're allowed to go places again, that's.
I find that I'm creating a bucket list of things that I want to do. That I realize that I always could have done before, but now that I can't, I'm like, crap, I really need to figure out these specific things and make these things happen. And so that list is getting longer every day. And I think it's partially because
next year.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a good plan because next year is 30 years anniversary.
Oh,
yes. So it's a good reason to go to Leipzig.
Good reason to go to Leipzig.
So
say Leipzig, please. Say the word Leipzig, please.
Leipzig.
Very good.
Good.
Yeah. So
I speak a little German. I'm not going to embarrass myself right now. I speak it better whenever I go over there after I'm there for a couple of days. I get fluent again, but it takes me some immersion to get back into it.
Probably some beer.
Yeah, some beer helps too.
Yeah. Yeah. I made a friend at the Sisters of Mercy concert, and he knew I didn't speak German, but then he was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Colorado." And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, U.S." He goes, "I thought you were from Denmark." And I'm like, "Yes, I don't have an American accent."
Her German has that Northern German.
I was like, success.
She has the Northern German accent, so.
We know that you drove us from the airport to the highway, and then you talk German. You just wondered that you.
I was like so excited to get to practice. You were so sweet. Thank you.
Ja, wir können ein bisschen sprechen noch.
Ja, wir können ja das Ganze auf Deutsch weitermachen.
Excellent.
Well, so I find this whole thing fascinating. I've seen everything like up to and including Burning Man over here is canceled, and they're going to do some sort of an online festival. A lot of my friends have just been doing random one-off broadcasts of. I've got friends that are DJs that are just doing DJ sets. Some of them are, and most people are not charging for it. A lot of people are just kind of doing it, for fun. Maybe eventually charge for it if that were to pick up, and depending on what normal looks like going forward, when we can actually return to some form of normalcy. So my question for the band, first off, is how are you guys prepping for this, and how are you planning to do your broadcast side of it?
Habe ich richtig verstanden? Es geht jetzt darum, bis in Corona-Zeiten. Yes, this Corona thing is a disaster for artists. Mm-hmm. In Germany, from one second to the other, everything was cut off. No concerts. That means no income for all of the artists. There are some projects now which are going to fundraise and give some money for artists, but of course everybody wants to work. And we, in our case, we are in a privileged situation because we have this home together where we can work and make music and everything. I think it was the first weekend of the Corona shutdown when we had a live streaming concert.
Yeah, it was very low quality.
The sound was good, but the light was too much for this Facebook camera.
Yeah.
That was a big problem. Yes, but everything stopped, and as an artist, you would need the community. You need the.
Yeah, you need some money also. That's a big problem.
Yeah, because you like food, I think, right?
They are doing that, like fundraising or making a online show, and say, give me money to PayPal for something, mm-hmm. or buy a beer and give me $5 for PayPal.
Yeah.
Or making some shows with, they say, okay, you pay a fee to get into that some do that also. Mm-hmm. We made it just as a Facebook show and said, buy some things in our Spreadshop shirt. So it was okay. So, it's a very hard time for all the people who live only on making music. All people, die Veranstalter natürlich auch, ne? Yeah.
Yes, those who organize, those who have the bars and clubs, everything is locked down. Nothing is allowed to happen. Yeah. Here in Germany, we don't have quarantine, so some things work. We are allowed to leave our homes, but everybody shall be in some kind of self-isolation, which means you only do what is really necessary. So we don't drive with a bus if it must not be. We only go out to buy food and not to go out for something else. We are allowed to go to the to a park or to walk around or to jog for jogging. This is allowed, but we have to keep distance to everybody, and we have to, to wear this
Mask.
Yes, the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and everything like that. And for the economics, it's a catastrophe in Germany. But we hope it's time after time. Everything opens again. But we don't know what will happen if the virus is coming back very hard. The situation in Germany is quite good in compared to other countries. I think we have a very strong health system. Everybody can go and see a doctor. Everybody can go to a hospital, and this is paid. And nobody. Yes, I think everybody has
system. So
yeah.
I think that's Germany is in a good position.
Yeah.
That helped a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Part of how this came about was I had this moment a couple weeks ago where I was just all of a sudden worried about you guys. I was like, are you okay? Because I just had that awareness of like, wow, I've been so focused here. And I know all these people all over the world, and all I'm getting is statistics, and I don't know how folks are actually doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I saw it was in Hamburg. We are living in Hamburg, and here we had a hot spot in Germany. But I myself, I don't know only one person who has this coronavirus.
Yeah.
So, but we were for some time a hotspot. But the reason was that there's a specialty in Hamburg. Only in Hamburg we have the spring holidays. It's a skiing holidays. Everybody wanted to have it, and it's only in Hamburg. In no other country from Germany. It's only in Hamburg, and many of them have been to Austria and to North Italy, and they came back with this virus because there in Italy they had this hot spot, and this is why the number was increasing.
Yeah, I heard that story actually. There was a write-up about this town, the ski resort in Austria, that became the hotspot, that everybody who was there pretty much got it and brought it back to Italy, Germany, all the other countries that drew that holiday that you're talking about. And it was kind of like they, and this is the point of tracing is knowing where it comes from, so that we can eventually get to a point where it's probably not going to go away, but we have to be able to know how to avoid it spreading uncontrolled and things like that. And so it was an interesting exploration in how, one little place at one little time could cause so much spread.
That's true. Yeah.
So David, as far as organizing this, how has that been? Especially you've done probably organization of just having a band at a club or something like that. How has this been kind of different for you?
We are three people who for 4 weeks do nothing else, canceled almost everything else, to organize it, because it exploded. It really exploded. And at first, we thought, okay, we make one day. We start at 1 in the afternoon, then we have some readings, some video clips from readings. Then we have maybe 2 bands, and we have a nice DJ set, and that's it. So now we have to do a pre-opening. So we are now 4 days. We have over 60 acts, over 60 writers, musicians, metal, punk, post-punk, a lot of EBM and electronic, and it's really, really nice, and it's exploded in a real big bandwidth from a lot of different stuff. And from the beginning, we thought, or we planned to do some live moderation for it. We speak to the users, and we have a hosting team which communicates with the users, and we are so naive in because all this technique, nobody really knew about this shit. It was a really learning curve. Believe me that. But
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I putting together a festival, I was involved in some. I played a few. Like they take a lot of work, and normally there's a lot of like physical logistics around that and stuff. And I would imagine that organizing a whole bunch of people to show up. Although you did say something interesting, so you might have pre-recorded videos of some people and things like that, and sort of just mix that in.
Yeah. You can't do it live.
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
do some stuff on stage. You can't do this hosting stuff. 2 people on stage and 2 technicians, camera technicians and streaming technicians.
Yeah.
But you can't play on a stage and stream that because it's not allowed in Leipzig. Germany, we are federal republic, so Hamburg is a state, is its own state, and Saxony, where we are based, has a little bit different rules.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess right now it's little bit more relaxed than in Hamburg. I don't know, but anyway, you can't put people on the stage. So we asked, and that was a really, really big ask. We asked everybody who participated, sent us video stuff, good stuff, never before published stuff.
Wow.
And it was so really, really amazing how many people said, okay, we have some stuff there, we can cut it together and to get a really nice, really great clip. But I guess a third or almost half of all these people did it really, really, especially for Darkstream Festival.
Wow.
And we were amazed. And so, almost embarrassed because it started so little, and then you talk from one week to another, you talk to really some heroes of your wider days, and not that young anymore. It was really, really great.
Yeah.
We have to say one, the M. Kruppe, which is my colleague, together with Christian Schäfer, in his, core organizing team. He has some experience as a booker and doing small events, but this is really, really something. Really something. And we are, we all the time we knock on wood.
So is there a way for people to?
I don't know.
Okay.
Can we use strong language? Is
yes.
it okay?
You're allowed to use strong language.
Americans, some rules. Okay, it's really all this technical stuff. It can really fuck you up, but if it works, we're saying we hope, we pray that it will be fantastic.
Yeah,
because you are in your word. You make a promise to the artists, and from the start, we consider this as an event from artists, for artists, and for fans. So we all know the situation. We all are, out of work. We are all, okay, I'm a writer by trade. I can write, but I can't go on stage. In Germany, we make more. I guess it's more common to make a reading on stage. It's probably in USA. So it's really a part of my job to go on stage and to talk to people and to see what people think about my writing, about my stuff. And so, we all know what it means if an artist or a band, which is even more complicated, puts together something for this kind of event. So And we really, really love it and appreciate it that so many, like Oberer Totpunkt, so many great artists.
Ooh, yeah, we keep the community together.
And it
Yeah,
was very funny to make this show for you last week because it was like a concert, you know.
Yeah.
10 minutes before showtime, when we started the cameras, it was like, you know, when you're sitting backstage, 10 minutes show. And we started with, I think, 6 cameras, and I put the sound direct into the interface. But the problem is the editing and the cutting, because after that, you have so much different qualities. Not the cameras have the same quality.
Yeah.
We have 2 good and 3 are not so good. And the sound, you know, the videos were cut into frames. And so they don't you have to adjust them, and you get, it's crazy. You get crazy by this. And so, but we made a whole concert like we would play a concert, and then we recorded that. Normally it sounds easy, but if you put it down, put it back, and if you try to sound it very good and not to take the camera sound because it's always awful, then it's a lot of work. I think a concert would be much more easier, and we would have played would play in 2 weeks at Pfingsten.
Pfingsten is Pentecost.
Pentecost.
This Pfingsten.
Pentecost. Name for that. Pentecost.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah. Eastern, Pentecost, Christmas. Is it right?
I think so, yeah.
Have it?
Pfingsten in German.
Pfingsten?
You know
that? It's always the weekend where the WGT is on Pentecost.
Is that in California?
No. We've got the Trethvin is on the weekend of Pentecost.
Okay,
I know
it's
that.
It's something like Easter or Christmas. Between Easter and Christmas is something we call Pfingsten, and that is
it's a Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
It's Easter, Christmas, and Pfingsten. It's Pfingsten when Leipzig is the WGT.
Yeah,
right.
Email it to you when you see it.
Okay, This might be weird now.
No, it's another holiday. I know it. Yeah,
but it's German.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's
you don't know this in USA, is it?
No, it's not a US thing.
Okay. Then that's always the same time for this festival.
Yeah,
this Wave God Festival is always at Pfingsten.
Gotcha.
Pfingsten. It's crazy, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm almost educated. I'm gonna have to go use the Google after this.
Well, you were there for a year. How did you not hear about that holiday?
I was 16. I was dating and going to the Reeperbahn to listen to music.
So long ago.
I go to the Kaiserkeller. I didn't what am I doing, Pfingsten?
So, it's interesting because it sounds like you probably are learning some new skills right now, editing video and stuff like that. Necessity is the mother of invention and new skills. So
I had a question. So with the Darkstream Festival, let's say I'm watching, because of course I'm going to participate in some way, and I'm watching an artist and I'm like, wow, I really love what they're doing. How can I contribute to their financial success? Is there going to be like a donation option or?
Yeah. There will be a donation option, and we also do some giveaways from artists to fans who write to us live and said, I would really enjoy to have the new CD, DVD, whatever, from Oberer Totpunkt or any other artists. So we have some giveaways, and of course we have this donation button, and we have donation button also for the hosts, trying to get some money to pay the technicians and all this technical stuff,
right?
And some bills you collect on the way.
Yeah. No, this is not cheap. So I'm excited that it's online. I would not be able to go to Leipzig even if we didn't have quarantines, but I can participate in this, and it's really exciting to me. I'll get to see bands I probably never would have been able to see before.
Yeah, it does open this up as a worldwide sort of thing, because you're going to have people from all around the world that can just tune in. So
Yeah.
Let's see this one. Let's make this one a success.
Yeah.
And we want sleep for a week.
Yes.
Everything what's probably in the future, but not now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so you mentioned some of the other things, like what have you guys been doing, as a band during this whole thing? Other than, getting ready for this, like what other kinds of things are you doing in kind of your downtime?
Yes, we are just working on our new album. We are working on our 6th album. So we try to find some new songs, and also we perform 2 of them in this concert we just recorded last week, just to try it out.
Yeah.
But the album will be out, I think, the beginning of the next year, I think.
Yeah, we have the name for that, and we have all songs put together, and I played some drums for other bands. So I have an acoustic and electronic kit here. And here's a band from Hamburg. I played a whole record. And for Tom, an artist friend of me, he made some metal electronic stuff. And I gave him the drum tracks here also. I play the drums direct in with addictive drums and acoustic drums, with electronics and acoustic drums and triggered. And so I can do that. Our other job is we are working as travel journalists, but that's not the best
good
time.
in this time.
Also not a great one.
I'm like, you have 2 difficult ones right now.
Jobs you don't need, so they're not really necessary. So traveling and diving, we are both dive masters, and we are working for diving magazines. That's the reason why we would have been in Florida at the Florida Keys in April. And after that, we asked Damien, the guy from Das Ich, he's a promoter there,
Right.
for making some shows there in Tampa, Miami, and that was the idea. And
That sounds like a great plan. And there's, just a tiny hiccup.
It was.
Denver again also, if it's possible, we hope so.
We are crying in our pillow, I can tell you.
Understandably.
Yeah, it's tough right now. Do you see things, this is for both of you, do you see things like if they said you could go and play on stage tomorrow, if they just reopened? And here's, because this is coming up now in the United States, so very similar. Every state here has different lockdown conditions and things like that. Mm-hmm. We've got Michigan where they're carrying guns into the main building to protest being locked down. Other states are like, no, this is fine. They're opening up. You got one place in Georgia they're interviewing, and she's a hairdresser, and she's booked all day, first day open, because everybody wanted to go get their hair cut. And then you've got restaurants and stuff. They've been open for a week now. Nobody will go out to them. They're still doing maybe pickup orders and stuff, but not going out to that. So this is more of a confidence question. Like, how would you feel if they said, okay, you can do a stage show tomorrow in Germany? Like, how would you feel about that? Even you as a writer and reader, David?
I think as a band, as a drummer, I feel safe because I'm 5 meters far away from the audience. It depends on where I'm drumming, because with OT I'm in the front, but normally I'm in the back side. So
Behind
it's your problem, not my problem.
Curtain.
I'm not the man of the problem. So that's the one thing. The other thing is I'm not in the audience, so they have more problems than me. I have space. I can say, okay, Stefan, don't come closer to me, or give me the stick. So, but when you're in the audience, I don't know if it works. Or if it
I can hardly imagine how it might be to be on stage and see an audience, everybody with this mask on. I can hardly imagine how that would be.
Yeah, there you go.
When you see them in the supermarket,
Yeah.
It's crazy to see these guys.
Yeah.
For our listeners that can't see this, there are now masks on our little video chat here. So.
I know, it's just sound.
Yeah, my friend put on a mask, a ski mask, and went to the liquor store, and he posted on Instagram. He's like, I feel very uncomfortable walking into a liquor store with this kind of mask on. Like I look like a robber.
Yeah. Right.
I read some article in the Guardian or something like this. They are really, really afraid in the black community because they said going out with a mask in some parts of USA, you have to be afraid because a lot of people, the first idea they get is this guy is black and he's big and he probably wants to rob me or the shop next door or something and they will shoot.
Yeah.
So
it's a legitimate
really
concern.
No, absolutely.
To imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because and there's a lot of that, we have a diversity in the United States that is pretty extreme, in different places in different parts. In the black community, more people are dying of this. And that's a lot of because the healthcare that they have access to is not as good. We do a lot of our shows have been on like black advocacy and rights and anti-racism and things like that, because it is a problem. And I would be concerned as a black person going out and doing something that already made people more suspicious of me.
Yeah, I'm ashamed of our country in this way, but yeah.
But yeah, I find it interesting for me because tomorrow officially things start reopening here in Colorado. Where, in Denver, like some of the state has opened, but I don't find myself all that excited or in a big rush to go back out. Like, we'll still probably be just doing some grocery shopping once a week and going on walks. Like I love going out, we were not locked down in a way that you couldn't go out to the parks and stuff, and getting outside hasn't really been that hard, thankfully. But yeah, I'm not in a big rush to get back to, doing all of those other things. I still want to mitigate my personal risk at this point. So that's why I think things like Darkstream and if this is going to become, a norm that we can interact via video, I can watch bands and hear DJs and stuff. And I can have a little bit of that without feeling a pressure of like deciding endanger my health or have a social life or do things I enjoy. Yeah. So I really commend you guys. I think it's a great idea. And I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, well, we have tickets to a concert in July that we've been looking forward to for almost 8 months, I think.
It's the Ministry, Frontline Assembly, KMFDM tour.
And we're so excited. And we're like, even if we can go, will we? Because we haven't seen that people are necessarily being responsible. They haven't canceled it yet, but it's very, like, it's interesting to realize that we felt like we won the lottery when they put that tour out there, and we're so excited to go, and now we're like
Yes, that is, we have tickets for the Rammstein concert.
Didn't they just cancel that?
I thought
Rammstein,
I just heard.
But they stopped the European tour.
Mm-hmm. They did in the States too. Yeah. And that's the thing. I to a certain extent, it feels a little less bad about not being able to go out when there wasn't anything to go out and do. So, so it's almost worse if I have to make a choice about going out versus, not going out because something is still going on. And we've canceled things like the Burning Man Festival is the end of August. And they've already canceled it. And part of that is because there's a lot of prep work that has to go in. So people have to be working on that stuff right now, which is equally dangerous. It's the same thing with sports. A lot of that has to do with what the people who play sports have to do in between the games, not just a stadium full of people at the culmination of it all. So
the same. When will you open the venues in Denver? Have you heard anything about that?
Open the venue. Yeah, they're doing from, there was the stay-at-home order, and that's expiring, and they're now moving into the next phase, which they're calling safer at home. So bars and restaurants or bars are still, and clubs and stadiums are still closed. Restaurants can do takeout and delivery, and they're talking about letting some of them open in small ways with like half capacity or using the outdoors area. But just imagine like I have a mask on and I'm trying to eat, like I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they did allow restaurants to do alcohol delivery during the stay at home, which I hope they keep, because I'm like, that's way safer.
We don't have as lax of laws around alcohol as you do in Germany. Like, you can't usually get it delivered or things like that. So they changed that immediately. They're like, sure, if somebody wants, to have a beer with their delivery of food, you can do that. They started making things like these margarita kits. So you just get all the stuff and pour it all together at home.
And cannabis, in Colorado, it's legal. And so they'll do cannabis deliveries. You can order it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
They can send a pack to Germany, please.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's totally right. And so that kind of stuff, and businesses, but they're saying, the safer at home order or, phase, they're saying, if you can telecommute, if you can stay home, we really want you to. If you can't do that, or it's helpful to have people in the office, you can only have 50% capacity. So they're trying to ease into it. And then there's another phase if after a few weeks that seems to be going well. But the cities, the denser populated areas, while the state opened up, I want to say a week or two ago, the cities are only opening up this starting now. So they're also on different schedules.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys are probably in a similar boat, slowly starting to reopen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nobody really knows when. I mean, friends of mine, they organized a concert of Mayhem, the really, really legendary metal band from Norway in Leipzig. And it would be the first time since forever they come to Leipzig in November, end of November. And even that's, it's, we all really hope, but not even that, it's for sure, because they already sold a couple of hundred tickets. So
yeah. Well, there's that sort of thing, but also like Aisla's daughter just yesterday finally made the difficult decision of rescheduling her wedding in August for next year because just all of the logistics of people even having to fly in at then, and the fact that we just won't really know what it'll be like. And we could also be sitting around saying, good, it worked out. It was fine. It didn't, flare up again. There weren't more hot spots or things, but it's like luck. That could happen. It could be luck. Or it could not happen. And then, I didn't want her wedding to be kind of tainted by that fear. Yeah. And so I'm glad she made that decision.
Yeah, she and her fiance were really worried about their family having to travel because they're getting married in a place where we don't all live, but it's where her fiance is from. And then additionally, she was like, if somebody left and was sick, like, let's not even worry about them getting, but if they got sick or got badly sick or, died, she's like, we feel horrible. We feel so guilty. And we don't know if in August that's going to be possible to really believe won't happen. And so, that's they're trying to move it to next year. So then we have at least more information.
Yeah, what about a marriage stream? So,
I asked her, I said, do you want to do a
stream festival? New idea. So
people are doing that. I asked her, I was like, do you want to do a Zoom wedding? She's like, no, I want to have she was like, this is my only wedding. I'm not going to be like you, Mom. I'm like having the one. so we're gonna I'm gonna do it the way I want to.
You can leave the marriage ceremony when it's boring. So
mute
your own stuff.
Just walk away.
No, baby, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I the camera. See you maybe someday.
Different in camera.
Exactly. So.
Well, it has been fantastic to talk to you guys and to catch up with you. I'm glad you're all safe. And David, it was great to meet you and talk about all of this stuff. We'll be posting up links to everything, so we'll get those from you. Your writing, David, the Darkstream Festival.
Yeah, we want to put all that up with the show information.
Oberer Totpunkt we'll put up there. Yeah, and all of that. And hopefully, our listeners will enjoy hearing of the stories of other countries right now, because I will say this is one thing. that I love about this is that we are all kind of in the same boat. I've never seen a thing. I work as an account manager, and I work with people in the UK, people in Germany. I have a couple of accounts in Germany. I have New Zealand. I have Australia. And it's like, I've never seen something this big that affected everybody in almost the same way.
Yeah, that's right.
True. The
So-
whole world is in this thing. Yeah.
There's the same problem. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was great to catch up, and we'll post those links and stuff like that, and let's stay in touch, and maybe we can check in and see how things are going in a couple of months.
Yeah, and I'm excited. So thanks for listening. If you have ideas, feedback, thoughts, please find us on social media. We are BiCurean on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or email podcast@BiCurean.com.
And if you like what we're doing, please rate us on your listening platform of choice.
Thank you.